Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a genuinely mind-bending ancient mystery, one that's hidden deep within the heart of Tamil Nadu. We're going to explore a network of ancient structures that perfectly bridge the gap between profound spirituality and, honestly, mind-boggling astronomical science. We're talking about the Navagrahas, 9 ancient temples that literally map out the cosmos right here on Earth. Let's get right into it. So picture this. Long before modern science ever spoke of the sun, the moon, or the planets as we know them today. And I mean, thousands of years before telescopes and modern satellites were ever pointed at the sky, these 9 temples were built, and every single one of them is perfectly aligned to a different planetary frequency. But here's the massive mystery we're unpacking today. How on earth did ancient priests know the exact cosmic influence of each planet when the planets themselves hadn't even been fully mapped by science? It's the kind of question that really challenges everything we think we know about human history. To wrap our heads around this, we really need to understand the worldview of the people who built these marvels. This is all about the Navagrahas. Now, in Hindu tradition, the planets aren't just giant rocks or spheres of gas floating out there in the cold vacuum of space. They're seen as dynamic, living forces that actually move inside of you. It's like a cosmic map of life. Your destiny isn't just a script written by some distant entity. It's silently controlled and influenced by the rhythm of these 9 celestial bodies. They're what shape your karma and your journey. According to ancient legend, there was a time when the Navagrahas actually grew incredibly arrogant, thinking that they, and they alone, ruled human fate. Well, to restore some harmony, Lord Shiva appeared as Agneshwara in the town of Kachanar to humble the planets. He basically had to remind them that even celestial bodies must bow to a supreme consciousness. So to balance out the cosmic energy, these 9 planets were assigned to 9 specific sacred locations, and they were all structurally organized around Kumbakonam, which serves as the spiritual heart of Tamil Nadu. Okay, let's start breaking down these locations. First up, we have the Sun, the Moon, and Mars, what we call the foundational forces. The sheer concentration of scientific anomalies here is absolutely wild. Let's take Surya, the sun, at the Srianarkile temple. The main sanctum faces directly east, and it is perfectly aligned to the rising sun during equinox days. Is that just a coincidence? Or is it ancient solar engineering designed to help purify the ego? Then you move over to Chandra, the moon, at Thingalore. This temple acts as this incredible cosmic therapy for emotional instability. Get this, the temple pond actually reflects the moon's light in a way that creates a glowing circle, which is believed to amplify these deeply cooling vibrations. And then we've got Mangala, Mars, over at Vidishwaran Kyle. He's known as the god of healing, and priests offer holy ash as medicine. But here's the fascinating scientific kicker. The soil around this temple is incredibly rich in iron. That is the exact same element linked to the planet Mars. No way that's an accident, right? Moving right along, we step into intellect, wisdom, and beauty, the guiding forces. Building on this cosmic map, let's look at Buddha, representing Mercury, the planet of logic and speech, down at Thiruvinkadu. The architecture here isn't just pretty to look at, it is heavily mathematical. Every single pillar and corridor resonates with precise geometric proportion, which makes total sense for the planet of intellect. Next up is Guru, or Jupiter, the great teacher located at Alangai. What's geographically stunning about this spot is that the temple sits right near the meeting point of 3 major rivers, the Kaveri, Kolidam, and Veneru. It beautifully symbolizes the body, mind, and soul uniting to awaken clarity of purpose. And finally, we have Shukra, Venus, the planet of beauty and love, at Kejanor. Now this is fascinating. The main idol of Shukra here is completely invisible to the naked eye. Believers say its energy is just so incredibly radiant that it can't be seen. It just has to be felt. Actually, before we jump into the heavier planets, let's just pause on this thought for a second. Knowledge without humility is noise, but knowledge with devotion becomes wisdom. This explainer isn't just about marveling at ancient architecture or cool geographic quirks. It's really about recognizing that these structures were designed as pathways to inner balance. The temples are there to challenge us to align our internal compass, not just our physical bodies. And that brings us to karma and the shadows, the transformational forces. 2.5 years. That brings us to Shani, or Saturn, worshipped at Tirunalar. Saturn is known as the stern teacher of karma. And even modern science acknowledges Saturn as this massive planet with heavy gravity and a very slow orbit. Well, that physical reality is perfectly mirrored in the spiritual practice right here on Earth. Every 2.5 years, whenever Saturn changes its zodiac sign, literally hundreds of thousands of people gather at this specific temple. People who visit say the energetic vibration there is incredibly heavy, but at the same time, deeply profoundly peaceful. And that heavy, grounding vibration carries a massive spiritual lesson with it. Pain is not punishment, it is purification. Saturn's influence might seem really daunting at first, but it's meant to teach patience and those deep, profound lessons we only ever really learn by enduring hardship. Which brings us to the final pieces of our planetary puzzle, the shadow worlds. Take Rahu, the north node. This represents illusion and desire at Tirunageshwaram. Now, here's where things get really crazy. There is a literal, unexplained physical miracle that happens here. During the milk offering, the milk poured over the idol actually turns blue. It's a real phenomenon that scientists have tested, and they still completely cannot explain it. Rahu is said to give fame and dreams, but ultimately reveals them as illusions. Now contrast that with Ketu, the south node at Kishpire-Palum. Ketu is the headless planet of moksha, or liberation. This temple is entirely different. It's small, it's silent, and it's surrounded by these lush green fields. You don't go to Ketu to ask for wealth, you go there to pray for inner peace. Like the local priests always say, Rahu shows you the world, but Ketu shows you the truth. All right, pulling this all together, let's look at Earth's living solar system, the cosmic map. Okay, here's where my mind gets completely blown by this massive cosmic secret. If you take all 9 of these temple locations and simply connect them on a modern digital map, they do not just form some random, scattered shape. They form an almost perfect circle of energy that actually mimics the pattern of our real solar system. And right at the dead center of this geographic map, Kumbakonam, acting exactly as the sun does in our galaxy. The layout is so incredibly precise that even NASA scientists have pointed out that these ancient builders absolutely must have used advanced astronomical calculations to position them. And again, this was done thousands of years before the telescope was even a concept. Let that sink in for a minute. Because of this, a lot of researchers and spiritual leaders suggest that these temples weren't just built for the planets, they were built with the planets. Think of them like giant cosmic tuning forks. The idea is that each temple's specific location, its architecture, and even the materials used all resonate perfectly with the unique magnetic and gravitational pull of its corresponding planet. So when you walk into one of these spaces, it acts like a giant acoustic instrument, physically and spiritually tuning your body's frequency to align directly with the cosmos.
Today, people travel from all over the world to experience these temples. And it's not just about astrology. It's about trying to find some balance in a world that's frankly ruled by screens and chaos. These ancient structures are this beautiful, divine reminder that your destiny isn't just written in the stars, it's written in how you align with them. You are not separate from the cosmos. The exact same energy moving those massive planets is the energy moving your heartbeat. So I'll leave you with this one final thought. When was the last time you looked up at the sky and realized the universe is looking back at you? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning, keep aligning, and I'll catch you next time.